What's your hobby?
My hobby is catching creeps.
So you're the hunter.
Yeah, I'm one of the hunters. And so far, I done hunted down 300 of them.
300?
300. Just got 300 last night.
Dumb question is, out of the 300 people you've caught, how many dick pics have you had to watch? Just curious.
What's your take on the Epstein Island?
Ooh,
He went there.
yeah, my take on that is,
Big Bad Wolf, appreciate you making it out, brother. I know it's taken us a while to make it happen, but we finally did.
finally got it, man.
Lacan, good to see you, brother.
I did not expect what I walked in on. I mean, like I walked in, I'm like, we have this thing. He sends out the bio of the person, like what it's about. I don't pay attention to it. I just look at the name and like what the topic's going to be. And I assume.
And then he saw your email, which probably confused it.
I didn't even look at the email. Did you send an email?
I sent the calendar invite.
Oh yeah, I got the calendar invite.
But I had his
and then
email.
I walk in, I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on here? What's up with his hair? Like, what's happening here? I'm like, all right, what's going on? How are you?
I'm doing okay, man. It's a good day today.
Good. Can you tell us a lot about you?
I could tell you a whole lot about me.
Okay.
Well,
Where you grow up? Like, what got you to be?
I've grown up in Long Beach, California.
Oh, okay.
I'm originally from Mississippi and been in Long Beach about over 30 years of my life. Went to high school out there also. And now I have 3 kids that I definitely care about and take care of, and which led me to what I'm doing today.
So
what?
So there's a big elephant in the room.
There had to be a turning point that wanted you to go catch creeps.
Well, hold on. What does he do for a living?
Well, I do quite a few things.
Okay.
Outside of my hobby, I'm a security guard.
Gotcha.
So I take care of people all kinds of ways, I guess you could say.
And what's your hobby?
My hobby is catching creeps.
And what are those creeps?
Those creeps are the ones that I think a lot of parents need to keep their eyes on.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of the times it's the ones that we least expect.
And these creeps, I think in prison, they call the chomos.
Big time.
They're not liked very much, as we heard on a
nobody
previous
likes
episode.
the
Nobody.
chomos.
Well, no, I'm saying in that arena.
Yeah.
Saying in
Well,
jail, prison.
Because we had someone on a couple of days ago and he was talking about what happens in prison with the chomos. And then I was like, what the hell is a chomo? And then we're like, oh, that's what a chomo means. Got it.
And
so you're the hunter.
Yeah, I'm one of the hunters. And as of so far, I done hunted down 300 of them.
300?
300. Just got 300 last night.
Well, good work, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
So how'd you get started in it? Brian's original question.
Well, my second dumb question is, out of the 300 people you've caught, how many dick pics have you had to watch? Just curious.
He's interested in dicks. I'm interested in figuring out how you got started.
I guess he like dicks better.
I mean, he's the dick hunter. You're the trauma hunter.
Right.
Hey, bro, I did get you a male porn star.
You did. And he tells us we got a porn star on the show. I'm super excited.
Well, I'm not
Ends up being a dude. Yeah.
But to answer your question about how many, I would say
A lot.
tons of no fun.
Tons of dicks. Got it.
Yeah.
So how'd you get started in your...
I got started basically just...
How many years ago?
2 years ago.
Okay.
Today, 2 years ago. And
So damn, that's 150 a year. That
exactly.
You're busy.
You're a busy man.
And it's a sad situation. Like, it shouldn't be like that. You know?
No, and it shouldn't be that easy.
Exactly. But you will...
And you're one of many.
Yeah, it's tons of us. But the way I got started was actually seeing another person that actually was doing it already. And I was like, wow, we can actually run around as regular people and just, catch chomos and stuff.
And what do? Do you expose them? Do you get them arrested? What's your...
My main thing I do is get them arrested. If the arrest doesn't happen, then exposure is the next best key.
Yeah. So you build a whole case for, and like, I'm sure you spoke to law enforcement, like these are the things we need to make sure we have.
Exactly.
And, okay, well, we don't want to reveal what those things are because we want to catch your ass.
Yeah, but when I first started, they did let me know about like, oh, well, there's certain points that you have to hit for us to be able to make an arrest.
Prosecute.
Exactly.
And then are you like protected yourself as well? Because you never know if they come armed or...
Well, yeah, I actually have a team now.
Okay,
so
good.
I have a team. I have 3 security guys that come with me. Myself, and then other times it's a female decoy that's actually interacting with the the creep.
You know what we learned last week from the show?
What?
That most of the chomos go after boys, not girls.
From 0 to 12.
Yeah.
That's what he said a majority were.
Well,
What are you seeing on the streets?
I've seen, well, from my numbers, majority is going for young females.
So what can parents do to protect themselves?
What can they do?
Yeah.
I tell all parents, just be hella nosy in your kid's life. Get in their damn phone because that's where everything is at.
But what about the years before the phone?
The years before the phone, just still be nosy. You know, don't just let the kids go outside and play. Don't just send them to coaches' houses because you want your little free time.
What age range is the most dangerous that you're seeing?
13 through 15.
So 13 to 15, you should be hyper involved in your kids.
Oh, yeah.
But you should be planting the seeds before.
It's way before.
What are you telling your kids?
What I tell my kids, if anybody tries to offer you anything, you know, like for their little personal gain, like, oh, I buy you V-Bucks, for instance, because a lot of kids play Fortnite.
Oh.
And V-Bucks is what, you know, a lot of kids ask their parents for.
It's kind of like Roblox or whatever.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
But that's what a lot of these, you know, creeps like to do. They like to bribe kids. You know, like
Does some of that stuff actually happen inside of the game?
Oh yeah.
What stuff
I've
in the
never
game?
Like, so there's Roadblocks, which is a kid's game, very addictive, but there's like separate chats and live chats.
Yeah.
And I've seen some guys talk about it, but I didn't really want to dive too deep into it.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially that's, instead of going to like a grinder or something else, they're recruiting inside
What's
of a kid.
Grindr, Brian?
Well, he asked for the dick pics. I'm trying to hit
What is Grindr, Brian?
Fucking inside of the fucking kids.
No, I'm curious now. It's what is it like for salt shakers? Like
Yep,
the grinders?
exactly.
Gotcha.
Pepper grinder.
Got pepper grinder. Got
This
it.
motherfucker. Can't
Because
say
they got
that.
the salt grinders, they got the pepper grinders.
Hey, bro, you're on a time limit.
And I'm
We don't got
talking-
time for this.
And I'm talking like Newsom does. You know how he like talks
And
like
you got to dance
this?
too, as fires are burning behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
go ahead.
grinder. You were talking about dicks. Go
No, I
ahead.
was talking about how these fuckers
grinding
go into
dicks.
this,
Yeah, the chats.
the kids' games chats, and just, you know, kind of like Xbox Live for the people that don't really play video games now.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. You've 300 people you've caught. What's the profile that you see? Like, can you spot them out on the wild now?
Yeah, I mean, well,
Can you describe the?
it kind of makes you shouldn't do that. It makes you profile people,
Yeah.
you know. But like I said,
see? But?
you have to expect the unexpected. Because I done caught guys to where they look like him. You know what
Like
I'm
this
saying?
guy.
Yeah,
The
like
grinder guy. Gotcha. So grinder, dick pics, and now we got to watch out.
yeah, because it's like
So you're just saying you can't tell.
you can't tell. You can't tell, and you know you get the people in the comments like, "Oh, usual suspect," and I'm just like,
I mean, after the fact, obviously.
yeah, you know, and them are the ones that think like, "Oh
The
yeah,
Monday night quarterbacks.
yeah, these are what chomos look like."
Mhm.
What about the dudes that get caught like multiple times?
Ooh, those need
You know what it
other
sounds
treatments.
like? It sounds
Well, no,
like
but like
Ryan's
meaning like
Roses.
someone
You know how
like
people
you.
keep getting caught on Ryan's
Like
Roses.
you're
Like cheating.
those other guys that like keep running into the same dude. It's like, well, dude, stop beating them up and send them to the police.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes even just sending them to the police don't even work because one of the guys I sent to the police twice, I call him a third time.
Are these in affluent neighborhoods, normal neighborhoods, lower income neighborhoods?
We're all over.
Where are you
the
seeing
place.
most?
All over. I done been in rich
It's like
neighborhoods.
landmines
I
everywhere.
done been in the ghetto. I done been everywhere. I done been in other states also. You know, it's everywhere.
Damn.
What's the need for security now?
Say that again. What do I use?
No, why do you need a security team?
Oh,
Has it
well,
gotten
just-
that
well-
out of hand lately?
Well, it's more because I'm the one that's going to be talking, and sometimes I'm the one that's holding my camera.
Oh, and you're not really paying attention to what's coming up.
And so I have my team, and they know already. Like if this guy start getting like real crazy, you
They
know, just
come.
step up. And my team is good because there's been a couple of sequences where somebody was all like, "Man, you better get on my," and then my team, boom, bro, what you doing? So
I've seen those ones where like similar to you, they catch someone and then they're, calling them out in person. Then a random stranger comes up and just knocks the dude out cold.
yeah, but
What the hell happens in that scenario?
in that scenario, good luck. I had a situation like that before, but the police wasn't gonna come, and I was chasing this dude around literally for like damn near 10 minutes.
Dude, I've seen you sprint.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the ones I was chasing this dude around, and I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm tired of running. And it was the community that was, like, hey man, we like what you're doing. And they saw that I was leaving. I turned around where the choma was, and
They got him.
yeah, it was like a pack of hyenas.
Goddamn.
Damn.
Yeah.
I see you got your running shoes on.
Just in
Yeah.
case.
You got anything going on this afternoon?
I was chatting before I came in here. I was chatting with a couple of future chomos, because they already pretty much know the age of the person that they're chatting to.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
So no, I don't want to ruin it for people.
No, I mean, ask what you want to ask.
Well, no, I was going to say, how do you find them?
Anywhere. Basically, we never reach out. We just have decoy accounts on all social media accounts.
Gotcha.
Whatever accounts it is. And they hit up the profiles, and we just conversate from there. Once we feel like they want to try to like get sexual or something like that, and then we start like, oh, well, I just want to let you know, man, I'm such and such age. I don't want you mad.
So
at
they're
me.
instigating from the street. Like, you guys aren't baiting it. They're just finding these profiles and going for it.
That looks like young boys or girls.
What's the police budget to do what you guys do? Are they doing that too?
Well, with how many we catching, I would say that they're not. You know, it's been some jurisdictions that I've been to where they say they don't have a task force that actually is handling this kind of stuff. They have a ICAC, which is like Internet Crimes Against Children.
Mm-hmm.
They have that, but, you know, they can only do so much themselves, you know, because there wouldn't be teams like me catching 300, other teams catching over 500.
Do you feel like you're making a dent with the 300 that you've caught, or is like it's just hopeless?
It's hopeless. Because when I first started, I said to myself, when I get to 100, hopefully a lot of chomos will be like, oh man, you know what? They got people online doing this.
Yeah.
We can't do this no more. And now I'm at fucking 300. And
So I think the best advice you probably can give is like the defense. Like make sure the parents are like a little bit more aware. What signs should they watch out for that their kid may be falling into a trap?
just being more secretive with their phones. And if you can't follow them on social media, then, or if even if they're allowing you to follow them on social media, if they're not posting enough on there, that means they have burner accounts, which is what a lot of kids have.
I'm tapping that motherfucker's phone.
Yeah. And this is
They might have a
another
burner
thing.
phone too.
Yeah, but that's another thing that I like to put out there, because, you know, obviously the chomo shouldn't be trying to harm kids, but you got kids also that are out there willingly trying to mess with older guys, you know, and
Oh, shit.
but they not realizing the after effect later in life for themselves. So that's why us parents need to just be on our kids more. You know, get in the phone. Don't be scared to ask for their password. You know, you're not invading their privacy. Shit, they still living with you.
Mm-hmm.
You paying for everything. Who paying their phone bill?
Yeah, the chomo.
Just remember
No,
that.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, it could turn into that.
Yeah.
Because I done had a couple of them that sat there and told me they wanted to buy me a phone. They'll pay the bill. Like, no, your grandma and mama won't be able to see what we talking about.
So you see kids coming in with like new clothes, new toys, new gifts. Those are like big red
Yep.
flags.
Or if they stop asking you for what they always been asking, which is like virtual money for their video games,
Mhm.
or to buy them certain colognes or perfumes.
They don't grow out of it. Someone's feeding the habit.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Just pay attention to your kids. You've been raising them, so you should know how your kids are.
And listen to the intuition of like something's off.
Exactly. And two, if they are telling you about somebody that's doing something to them, you have to listen and take it serious.
Mhm.
Because when some parents be like, oh, just get out of my face, it's probably nothing. Your kids ain't going to tell you nothing else.
People see the highlights of you catching these people and calling them out, and how much back work and after work goes into a catch?
He goes
Ooh-wee.
back work again.
Yeah.
See this guy?
Backside, huh?
Back work,
This fucking
grinder. I mean, damn, dude.
But it's very time consuming. Like there's been times where I spent 6 months, 8 months before I would catch somebody. And yes,
as you're working on others.
as I'm working on others, there's been times I've been chatting with 10 predators at a time. 10.
How the fuck you supposed to do anything else?
Exactly. That's what my team, they tell me like, dude, your work ethic, just how you multitask is fucking amazing. You know, I don't even know how I do it.
I think we need to get you some VAs and train them how to do
No,
the chat.
they're gonna mess it up. It's gonna be like in India, you know.
Yeah,
Hello,
I know,
sir.
right?
You have qualified to be this child.
I mean, I have been looking to try to bring more onto my team, you know, to try to
What are you
help.
looking for? What kind of people?
I'm looking for people that can decoy chat wise, so I don't have to do all the chatting and see all the dick pics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of that kind of. I'm tired of that
If
stuff.
people want to volunteer, how can they reach you to volunteer?
I would say the best way is to email me, which is blackbiden83@gmail.com. That's the best and quickest way for me to respond.
Okay, Black Biden 83. So you were born in 1983 is what I'm assuming. You're obviously black. And then the Biden part?
The Biden part, it came because I used to do content on TikTok making fun of him.
Ah, okay.
And since I'm black,
and you're born in 83, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was just making fun of Biden. It didn't mean that I was a fan of him. Like, yeah, he's doing good. It wasn't nothing like that.
Gotcha.
It was like, dude, how you can't even walk upstairs?
So you've done a lot of research, obviously, in what you're going after and all the people you're going after. What's your take on the Epstein Island?
Ooh,
he went there.
Yeah, my take on that is, are we
goes
ever going to find out the truth? That's the only take I really have.
But all
about
the
it.
names that you've heard, do you think, based on your idea of like what these predators are, do you feel like they may have done stuff, they may not have? I mean, you've got a lot of experience into the mind of the predator.
Yeah, some of the names that they put out there, it's like, yeah, I had like suspicion about that person.
Hypothetically speaking.
Shit, I'll say Chris Tucker was one. I mean, just saying. I saw his name was on there.
What makes you think that?
Well, just by some of the ways that he was acting in some of the movies, going all the way back to like The Fifth Element, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and you have caught 300.
Yeah, exactly. And you just see traits, you know, and something like the predators that I'm catching now, and it's like, oh, you saw that in other folks before. And like the Chris Tucker.
What's the trait that you're seeing?
Just how they put on certain personas on how they're certain ways, but they're really another way.
Like what are they saying they are, or what? I don't want to. If you feel like it's given away,
sure, like they want to act like they're straight, but they really gay.
Ah, so you're seeing most.
Yeah, or they got
so
like
they're in a relationship, they're married or whatever, and
but they want to go the other way.
Yeah,
they want to have that image of being this way.
Exactly, like low key Diddy type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because. Can we talk about that? I mean,
we're talking about it now.
Well,
there's no going backwards.
Because, like, look at how he was, and a lot of people were. I thought I knew it for the longest, you know, but other people didn't think that about him, you know, until like certain videos came out, and now other evidence is coming out, and it's just like, wow.
Mm-hmm. A lot of other people are getting.
Do you think it's more of a power play? Because I think from what I remember seeing some of the documentaries about the Diddy situation, that it was more of like just humiliating people for whatever reason. I guess you got off on that.
Yeah, Dad and Dan too. They know a lot of people would do whatever for money and fame, you know, and
they see how far you can push someone's morals.
Exactly. And I think that's a fucked up situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's even fucked up for people to even just allow it to happen, you know, because it's been so many years and now, you know, everybody want to talk about it. You know, it should have been said something.
They kept their mouths shut for a long time.
Unless they felt like they would have got the Wendy Williams treatment or something.
What was that treatment?
The Wendy Williams treatment?
Yeah.
I mean, well, you see where she at now, you know, but...
She fainted. That's the last thing I remember.
Exactly.
That's the point.
So what happened?
She was here, then she went bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, she was pushing this stuff about Diddy before, and, you know, and she was saying, like, hey... I want to continue being able to do what I do. I don't want them to come.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get
showing
fucked.
up to my catches and, you know.
All right, so how does it go when you get to court?
Now, the court situations.
Do you wear the wig?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And the reason why I love to wear the wig is because.
In court?
In court. Because I know the predator is going to, or the chomo is going to be there. And I know they've been.
How did I get fucking busted by?
Exactly. And I know they've been dreaming about this hair ever since they've been caught.
So it's that nightmare scenario.
Yeah, so just in case you might have forgot a little bit now, because it's been
motherfuckers right here.
Exactly. Remember this? And then I love court because when you get on the stand, you read the text messages back.
Oh my God.
Oh,
wait, do these dudes like, all right, they got busted. And not to cut you off, sorry. They then attempt to fight it?
And I love it. I love when they try to fight it. Because I get to embarrass their ass even more.
Do you play the GoPro video too?
Well, they never play the videos.
Okay.
They only sit there and try to, they attorneys or whatever try to sit there and question me and figure out why I was doing it, if I entrapped them or something, right? Or if I'm doing it for money. And I'm like, well, as you look at the text message here, I told him or her, because I done caught females also. I said, well, I know I'm 14. If you don't want to talk no more, I understand. Your client responded back that it's okay. Let's just keep it a secret. Can I still fuck though?
What percentage are women to men out of the 300?
Well, I only caught 3 women so far, but you know, it's a lot of women.
And they wanted
a little girl.
boys?
A little girl. Yeah. One of the females, it was a couple. It was a guy and a female together. And they was actually pretty nasty. The girl, I feel sorry for my decoy because the female had a video on her phone of her having fun with her. Like she was giving herself to Mike Tyson.
Gotcha.
And so my decoy was all like, what? You can do that to yourself? And she said, yeah. You want to see?
Holy cow.
Yeah. So
She saw it in video or real life?
video.
All right.
Not real, bro, real life.
Hey, you never know.
That's like going way beyond the Call of Duty.
Yeah. So
Like the job is like, we meet, get your ass busted. We don't need to go there.
and then they literally was a suggestion that they wanted to try that on my decoy. So yeah, that was a sick one right there though. But that guy, he actually had was in some movie sets.
How many convictions have you got out of the 300?
Over 100. I still got to count them out, but I know so far the last time I counted, I was over 100.
So are there still cases pending? Or,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there are still cases pending because some of these guys, like we were just saying, like they try to fight them. But a lot of times when they do fight it, we'll go to court and then they're like, oh, we got to push it to another day. So it's like 3-4 months away. Then you go again, it's 3-4 months away.
You find certain cities work faster at expediting this through the process?
Nah. No, they all work the same, and you just hope whatever DA get it, that it's not I call them predator protectors.
What cities have those predator protectors?
LA.
Before, right? Or the new one?
Still.
Still?
I never catch in Los Angeles. That's like the city, like county, you know.
Yeah.
But like LA, the city, or like Hollywood.
They don't really...
Man,
Like you catch them, but they don't do anything with
they
it.
don't do nothing. You can literally, like how I have these guys sitting there having an easy conversation with me. So I got them here still. You can come to the scene and
grab
arrest him. He's going to admit to you.
What he did.
Exactly, because I know the whole thing, how to do it. But they say, oh, we're going to need you to come to the station. Or if they do come to the scene, they would just interview the guy, take down all his information, and then let him go and say, yeah, we'll just, you know, get to it later. But it's been plenty of them.
These are beat officers.
Call them what?
Street beat.
Yeah.
And this is after the new DA got into office?
I
first-
haven't done none since then.
Okay, because I remember the old one didn't care
give
about
a shit.
anything.
Yeah, he didn't care
It was
about
like free-for-all in LA.
Oh, yeah.
But the new one is a little bit more strict.
Yeah. I
mean,
mean,
a lot more
I've
strict,
been
not just
noticing that they have been picking up some cases faster, but there have been some cases that they just been given DA rejects. And
Because it's just not enough evidence, or what?
yeah, which I don't understand how. Like he literally just acknowledged the age,
Yeah.
said what he was coming for. He showed up. What else do you really need from that? You know, so they came with another, I guess you can call it a loophole for them, saying like, oh, like recorded phone calls. If we have those, then that just make the case just go away.
Oh, so you can't have recorded phone calls?
Right, unless they know it's being recorded, because we was kind of doing
In
that
California, you can only do it under
It's a single party.
extortion.
Yeah, but you know, I'm pretty hand in hand, I would say, with some pretty good law officials and stuff like that. So we working on something to where we can make a lot of these cases just start to stick where we won't be rejected. So I'm getting a lot more knowledge because a lot of
Can you
officers,
take it federal if you're having a hard time with the state?
I'm not too sure about that, to be honest. I really don't even know how to answer that. I'm just wishing, like, just from the state and city level, that they would just take this shit serious. But I mean, I understand that they think a lot of us guys that get out, I don't use that vigilante word because I don't consider myself one of them. But that's
some of those guys I feel like are given a bad rap.
Yeah, and that's what I see that they're paying more attention to, because they see that and they consider all of us the same. So they don't want to show up to
I don't think he knows what we're talking about, though.
I don't.
well,
I'm
like
just
some
nodding my head,
some guys that have started doing, I call them the new booties. The new booties, you know what I'm saying? Because they see that this is a big thing going on now, predator catching. And they see like a lot of us get a lot of views. So, but that's all they care about, views.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Not that guy, but
what's his name?
No. Not what he got in trouble for what he's about to say in the beginning, and he stopped doing that. There's other guys that are publicizing.
Yeah, like they, beating these dudes up. They, busting tires and car windows and all kinds of stuff. I seen a dude get knocked out with a pumpkin.
With a pumpkin?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that one too.
Yeah, but
I know which one you're talking about.
Doing stuff like that, the law is going to see that.
Yeah, and they're going to just...
Pretty soon, they're going to make it illegal for us to catch these guys. If they continue seeing that kind of behavior going on, that's why I'm against it. Because I take this serious. I want a real change behind this.
You want them off the street.
Yeah. At least stricter laws for them. Even just chatting to a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not no teacher or nothing like that. Just chatting to any random child online. You can't do that. What's your need for that? You don't have your own kids, your own nephews or something like that?
Well, they shouldn't do it, period.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the law, they can say all this nasty stuff online to kids, at least in California.
California has definitely made it easier for them.
Way easier. I mean, I can go through so much stuff that I done dealt with, but I do want to give a good shout out though to a police department that's been really helpful though. Signal Hill PD.
Oh, that's right next to Long Beach.
Yes.
Really?
Bro, they are amazing.
They don't play?
They don't play. And they take this serious. And they never gave us no kind of like, oh, well, can you guys start coming to the station? Or, well, you guys' evidence is not like this. Because they know we real deal. So when we call in now, like they know who we are. And then they come to the scene, they handle what they need to handle, check out the evidence. They know, even though they know it's legit, they got to still do everything. Yeah. And they, take them off.
They hook them and book them right there.
Hook them and book them. Hook them and book them, bro. But they are amazing when they come to the scene.
Damn. How do we get more police departments to do that?
I think if to get more and more like that, we need not to just try to boost my team up, but more teams need to be like us. Like when the cops show up, get out of the way. Of course, we like the good shots of them getting handcuffed and all that stuff.
But look, let them do their job.
Exactly. But, and I've seen it from some teams. They want to be all in the way. The cops say, oh, can you give me a little room?
And then they get...
Oh, no, don't try to give me directives. And like, I don't need to step back. Where's your tape? Like, bro, you called him to help you out. Why the fuck are you fighting with the cop now? Yeah. Just bag up a little bit, bro, and zoom in on your phone.
What do you think the root cause of it is in the predators? Like what ticks in them that makes them want to do this?
I think it's a mixture because I talk to a lot of my followers about, and they ask me these kind of questions, and I think it's a lot of it is loneliness, and then the other part is just a power trip. They see like, to them, they think it's a vulnerable kid. It's somebody that they get ruled over. And I get that sense because of the way that they chat. Oh, you're going to do this. You're going to have to say this to me. Like the last guy, 299, which is the one that was harassing a real high school girl. And a parent reached out to me to see if I can get him because they called the cops, which was in one of the cities that the police don't do nothing. Mm-hmm. And they tried to get the police involved because their own child was being harassed.
You don't want to blast that city?
No, don't.
Okay.
Well, people moving there, targeting people there.
Yeah, but... and I made sure I said, well, can you give me some more evidence so I know that this is legit and not somebody you just whose life you trying to ruin because he broke up with you. So she gave me the whole thing and sent me what they had, what the guy gave her daughter. And so I act like I was the daughter and he showed up to the scene. But the stuff this dude was saying was all like, yeah, you're going to be my fucking dog. And when I get there, you're going to tell me that you're going to be my dog. You're going to be a good dog. I mean, this dude was nasty. There's other stuff he was saying that I'm not even going to bring out. But just telling a child, you're going to be my dog, and I want you to tell me that in person. That's sick shit.
So they deserve what they get in prison.
Hell yeah. I don't want them getting beat up on the streets and nothing like that because that's just going to put somebody that don't belong in jail in jail. Mm-hmm. You got your own kids to be out here for it.
That other person's going to get in way more trouble.
Yeah. Let the ones that's already locked up deal with them.
Yeah.
They ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
What about making them meet you in a city that's more friendly towards you?
Well, we can do that. And that's kind of what's been going on. You know, like some of these dudes, but you kind of got to let them lead up to wanting to meet you in that area. You can't be like, oh, can you come here?
Yeah.
You know, so.
Meet in front of the jailhouse. By that camera.
Man, I done met a couple of predators, bro, in front of the police department. That's how stupid some of these dudes are.
Damn.
Made in front of the police station. And sat there and talked to them for over an hour in front of the police station waiting on them.
What happens? I've seen you post like a couple dudes have just booked it and ran forever.
Well, he's got all their info. Just post it online.
Yep. But the ones that run, it's like, bro, why you so guilty? What you running for one? Because I ran track. And so when they run...
Oh, what's your number?
Well, my mile time was 4:45.
Oh, fuck that. I'm not even going to do this.
4:45.
Exactly.
Damn.
Grease lightning.
But see, that's when I was in high school, though. Like, my mile time now, I did run a mile, I'll say last month. My mile was like 6, like late 6.
Bro, I haven't done 6 since I was in high school. Like, playing football.
6? Motherfucker, I was in middle school.
I mean, I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, you know, I'm 41, but shit, I'm like, bro, I still want to be like in the 5s at least or something, you know?
Jeez, that's fast, man.
Yeah, but when I see these creeps try to run off, I'm like, well, you just finna give me content for one. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't really want to run, but...
Are your shoes already tightened up, ready to go?
I'm always prepared to run because you just...
And he's got the chest rig GoPro, so doesn't have to worry about shit in his hands.
Exactly, bro. But sometimes I do
What's a trick for running fast?
Shit, drinking water.
Isn't it like this arm and that leg, and like you have to have like this?
You gotta get the good motions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my son can teach you a little bit more about that now because he actually runs track.
Because catching chomos is
the chomos don't run like that. They're
heavy and slow.
Yeah, they got the little wiggle run.
Yeah,
you know, like please don't hurt me.
But you have had some fast ones.
Oh yeah, dude. And the fastest one. You want to know what kind of shoes he had on?
Chonkless.
Nah, he had on the Adidas slippers.
Adidas slippers?
Yeah.
And he outran you?
The ones with the bubbles when you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell people he outran you.
Look, I'm very
Did he keep the slippers? Like they stayed on his feet?
They didn't fall off. I did catch up to him though. After I was about to throw up. but dude, we ran for about a mile. I'll give it. We ran for about a mile and it's a full sprint. And I had this on.
Your camera, full clothes.
This camera, I had my hand camera. And then
pockets loaded.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm running and holding everything. And I'm trying to, I have a certain speech that I tell them to try to, it works most of the time. Yeah. That's why a lot of people are like, dude, you fucking running, you talking and yeah.
That's how you fucking running out of breath.
But I called him. But when I called up to him, he was trying to jump off of a wall into like down into some other yard. And I'm like, bro, I said, man, it ain't that damn serious. Like, what are you doing, bro? I'm just trying to talk to you. So he came back and talked to me. And we talked for about a good, 40 minutes, and then police rolled up. It was good timing because I got everything I needed out of him.
They took him?
Oh, yeah, they took him. DA haven't picked up the case yet, though.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's been about a good, 6 months.
Jeez.
I think we need to get you a meeting with one of the
Have you
DAs.
followed up with them, like through a different chats to see if they're still doing it?
Yeah, I mean, it's been ones that I called over a year ago that they finally picked it up. And when they called me about it, I was like, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
And they was all like, well, you call them.
Just imagine what's happened in that time span that they're out.
Exactly.
Yeah, but are you able to blast? I mean, obviously you put all the pictures up and everything just to make it harder for them.
Yeah, I definitely always expose them right after I catch them, especially if they get arrested on the scene. Then boom, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna post you online because some of them they will try to sue you for defamation or something like that if they didn't get arrested. Even though the charges are still there, they just pending. But if they get arrested,
you can put a disclaimer like all suspects are innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, well, I always say came and attempted to instead of came to. What you mean? I said you attempted to. I ain't say you did it.
But you tried.
Yeah, exactly. And then for the ones that get arrested that come and try to sue, it's like, bro, how did I defame you? You got arrested for this shit. The police arrested you. What the fuck? So
wild stuff.
What's been the craziest one thus far? You were going to tell me one before, but I we held off.
Yeah,
I think you said it's one you were working on right now.
Oh, don't talk about
Oh,
what
it
you're
was
working on right now.
the 300 one from last night. So this dude, one of the ones you wouldn't expect, because he came off as like a MS-13 member, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, y'all hear my voice. Do you think I can play a 14, 15-year-old boy with my voice?
No.
Nah.
Exactly. But when I was on the phone, hey, yeah, you want to do what to me? That's how I was talking, right?
You're like, all right, bet.
Right. Oh, let me stop now. So, but he's falling for it, but I'm listening to him like, damn, this dude sound gangster as fuck. And I'm looking at his picture, tatted all on his chest and shit. So I'm like, you know, bald head, fitting the whole persona, you know, a gang member. So I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I had a whole squad with me tonight, just in case. You know, so we pull up on him, but the stuff that he was saying, he wanted to teach the little boy how to douche. Right. And, you know, I played like I don't know nothing. I'm not supposed to know all of this stuff because I come off as a virgin and shit. I was like, douche? I said, what is that? He was all like, oh, you know, you got to clean out your ass, man. You know, so when we're having sex, you know, he's like, you know, you don't get no stuff. That I was like, oh, wow. I said, I don't know how to do that. So he was all like, well, I can teach you. So I'm just like, oh, okay. Teach away then. And then he ended up showing up and he had all that on him. And at first he was trying to sit there and act like he had nothing to do with it. So my thing is sometimes some other people in public can look just like the chomo when you actually there to try to catch one, but you don't know if it's them yet. So here I was all like, hey bro, like, I just want to have a conversation with you. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So now I'm like, okay, let me just test this temperature. I said, look, I can have the police show up here, bro, and then you could talk to them about it. Oh, well, man, I wasn't really going to do nothing anyways. Gotcha, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha, bitch. So now it's like, okay, look, man, I know you didn't want to try to do nothing. That's why I want to talk to you. Like, let's just have an easy conversation, because that's my thing, an easy conversation.
And then they just fuck themselves.
They be like, yep, exactly. Because then when they try to lie, and I ask certain questions that catch them up in a lie, like last night.
Don't ask. Like, don't offer it. Because I don't want people finding out.
No, well, because it's many different questions. You know, I know psychology pretty good, so it depends on what this person is doing. So, like last night, he had a bag of snacks, right? So I said, is there any of those snacks in that bag for the little boy? Oh, no, man, I got all this for me. Knowing I got all the messages, right? And I'm the one that's been talking. So I'm like, you see what I'm saying? I said, you lying, bro. No, I'm not lying. That's all that I said. So that Coke and that Snickers that's in that bag is not for nobody else. No. I said, you see what I'm saying? So I said, bro, you're lying. I said, I told you I got all the messages. I said, I only asked you that little question just to see if you're going to lie about something so small. I said, well, if you're lying about snacks, how am I to believe that you're going to sit here and tell me that you really came here to fuck a kid? Mm-hmm. You're not going to tell me the truth about that. You know, and he kept saying in the message, like, yeah, man, my life will be over. We got to keep this a secret. And I told him, if you telling yourself that your life will be over, listen to that shit. Don't do what the fuck you're getting ready to try to do. You know, like, and some people tell me, like, on some of my catches, they come off as a therapy session because, you know, like I said, I'm good with psychology and I pick their brains and shit sometimes. So it comes off sometimes to where it seems like I'm trying to help them. But in a way, I'm getting them to, you know, fuck themselves in a way. You know, and then when the police roll up and I give them like, okay, look, we just gonna say we talking about the Lakers.
They believe you?
Oh, yeah. Because I use that also because when like pedestrians or something walk by and I'll say like, man, how about those Lakers? And then so the person walk by and I say, you see, I'm not trying to embarrass you. That's why I need you to just be honest with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I can tell everybody why I'm talking to you. But you see, I just talking about the Lakers, bro.
Well, let's be honest. Most people walking by ain't looking at that person. They're looking at the hair.
Yeah, and they definitely looking at the hair. And then a lot of people do know by the hair now. They'll drive by like last night. Somebody, I can't even say the word, but it was like, fucking foul. So, yeah, sometimes I can't even put the hair on.
Does the security ever have to stop?
Yeah.
The other direction?
Well,
like
not,
strangers?
Not as in to where they want to try to attack the chomo. Just more in the sense of keeping them back, not to try to come in and try to, shake my hand. Because it'd be a lot of people want to do that. Like, I just want to shake your hand, bro. I appreciate what you're doing. But it's in the middle while I'm actually fucking talking to the predator. I'm just like...
You should set up like a fundraiser for you to like be able to do more stuff.
I was thinking about that because some people...
Because you have a really good cause. And I think it's important that if people want to support it, especially if law enforcement's not doing much, but at least like we support a good organization or group that's actually doing such great work like yours.
Yeah, I was thinking about trying to take like a LLC route or something, but I just don't have that kind of knowledge. I got knowledge in a whole bunch of other stuff, but as far as like how to fundraise.
Well, we can help you set that up for you, just so you can set up a nonprofit. So you can use that to
cover your expenses.
Yeah, cover your expenses and expand, because I think like why stop at 300? Just go for like 3,000, 5,000 or 10,000. Get as many as you can, blast them, and just make it so shameful for them to stop, because obviously they're not afraid of the law, but
facts.
Your picture's on the internet forever, and that's not going to ever go away. And you're always going to be labeled as, what you're doing. So I think that's going to be a pretty good deterrent, and also getting your message out there so a lot of parents can protect their kids.
Facts.
Because this is not, we joke around a lot to kind of like make light of the situation, but it is a pretty heavy duty topic to be discussing. And it's not something that, we ever want to catch someone doing something to our, kids and neighbors and anything like that. Because you're calm about it and we're joking about it, but I know me and him, we would not be as calm as you if something like that was happening to one of our kids, loved ones, or even like a neighbor or even a friend's kid. Because this is not some that like shit would get serious real quick. I don't know if we would be waiting for law enforcement, because this is not something that like.
No.
I don't see.
Like my hat goes off to you how calm you can stay through this, because
you're joking about. We're joking about it because
this is
in a light about it to make light of the situation, because it is a very, very.
But more awareness needs to be brought to the topic.
Yeah, facts, and that's my main thing, is pushing this out there for awareness. For the parents that understand, like we think we know everything that our kids are doing, but sometimes we don't.
They go on autopilot. I think a lot of parents just go on autopilot thinking my kid knows better.
Yep.
And they don't know that they're still a kid. They're not as smart. They don't have the experience. They don't have the wherewithal.
And when we were kids, none of this shit existed.
No, it did. It did. There was no internet.
Meaning the technology side.
Well, it was worse. You know what I mean? It's worse when you're a kid. You don't have the technology to spread the awareness. Right now you can reach millions of people and tell millions of people. But back then, a lot of people.
Unfortunately, he gets throttled though.
Huh?
He gets throttled.
Yeah, big time. Because I see other catcher videos, they can post it, and within like an hour, they can have like 10,000 views. Mm-hmm. Shit, it takes months for one of my videos to get to 10,000, if it even gets to that. Mm-hmm. And I just don't understand the reason why the internet just hates on me so much. And all I'm trying to do is put out a good message and make more parents aware.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have some ideas why. But I think after the show, if you definitely need some help setting up entities and setting up a fundraiser so people can donate and help your cause, and maybe if you can expand what you're doing in other states and get other people recruited and say, hey, this is our playbook, this is what we're doing, expand it in your, grow your brand so you're in the major metropolitan areas. Or do you think it's more major metropolitan areas that have this concentration, or do you think it's just everywhere based on what you're seeing? You see you're desensitized to it now. It's so bad.
It's everywhere, man. Just based off seeing all these other teams out there. Because there's this one guy, Alex Rosen. He's from Texas, but he travels all over.
He was on the Hodge Twins podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
And he keeps losing his page.
Yeah, exactly. He had just lost his other Instagram page, but that's because he posts a lot of other controversial stuff, you know what I'm saying? But he's young, he just do stuff on the internet, but he does an amazing job in his catch business, you know what I'm saying? But
we just want to get the message out so that obviously, if you like you just how to teach your kids and what to watch out for as an adult, as a parent, to make sure that your kids are not susceptible to this. And then also teach your kids constantly, like, hey, there's these types of people out there that want to hurt you.
Yes.
You got to be very careful. When you're younger, they offer you, like free rides or free candy or whatever the case is. And then as you get older, they're offering you free games and free money and free things just to entice you. And I didn't know it was 14 to, or what was it, 13 to 15?
It's like 12 to 15.
12 to 15 is that really susceptible age that you got to be like
because at that age, they're getting technology, iPad, phone.
But also they want things. They see other people that have things.
But then
and they
too,
want
like
things.
some of the prayers, they feel like, oh, that's like the age range where kids start trying to want to experiment sexually.
Gotcha.
And they like to try to be that one.
And they're more independent, I guess. Their parents aren't really, they can walk to school and walk back. And the parents kind of let their guards down. And I think that's an important message that you shared today.
Yeah, because I actually made up a school one time, and one of the chomos that I was chatting to, he actually drove by the school and was sending pictures. It was like, oh, I'm outside your school. And I'm just like, even though I don't go there, but it's like, wow.
There's other kids there.
Exactly. Yeah. And if this was a real kid he was talking to, he just showing up to the school, parent wouldn't have known nothing. And it's scary, bro. It's scary. And I'm just glad that I was able to, instill a lot into my kids.
Dude, 300 people getting arrested or caught is saving at least 300 families.
Yes.
Minimum.
I
think it's 300 families. Not
I think
people.
it's more than 300 families.
Well, I'm just assuming like, just one per. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. Yeah. This is people's lives for the rest of their life that you've like altered for the better versus like just getting, psychologically just completely fucked.
Exactly. And that's what like sometimes when I wind down after certain catches, like I just start thinking about it. Like, damn, dude, I literally just saved a child from being harmed. No telling what this child would have went through. And then I this is just something I do to myself. I just read the chat logs. And then I just start thinking like, man, if this dude or whoever it is was talk to a real kid like this, that's the part that gets me like emotionally because, I really do care about this cause. And then just think about how some kids have already fell victim to this, because I have a lot of former victims that reach out and say they like that I do this. They wish people like me was around, when they were. Yeah, dude. And those the comments that hit you. It makes you feel good about what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think it's important, again, set up the fundraising because there's a lot of people that are lazy. They want to support the cause, but they don't want to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so it's easier writing a check. You know what I mean? And have that opportunity at least available to the ones that just want to write a check and feel good that they're doing something where they can't do what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely set that up because I think it's an important thing that you're doing.
Yeah, man. Well, if you guys can show me the way, and I'm down to, learn that because...
Yeah, we'll gladly help you on that. No problem.
Because I'm ready to get to 3,000.
Any other final tips, wisdom for people out there?
See, now he's talking about tips.
Now the tip.
Backside tip.
Keep in mind, he takes everything I say and twists it.
Grinder. I think you started with grinder. You're finishing with
a pepper grinder. Fuck off.
Y'all kills me, man. Shit, look, that's all the thing. I mean, but just
hide your kids, hide your wives. They're raping everybody.
Yeah,
Wait, you can't say that word. Max got a
raging. Shit. See, I told you to fucking end it. Now you got me saying shit that's gonna get this banned.
I'm sleep. I mean, what I do got, the way I name my catches now, instead of catfish, we call it codfish. Because he got caught doing some dumb shit. So
I like it.
That's what we calling it now. Because I start, and then the way I produce my videos out there, I produce it in a comedic sense.
It helps,
even though you see everything gets done.
It's a terrible subject, but you gotta
make some light of it. And that's why I see like a lot of people actually like the way I put it out there. People watch my whole videos versus just like, oh, let me just get to the end and see the rest. I make sure people watch the whole thing so they can hear. The
message gets delivered with comedy so that it sticks.
Exactly. That's why I don't know why the universe won't just let me get pushed out there.
Well, hopefully it does after this.
Hope so.
Where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram at big_bad_wolf 1983 or on YouTube, Big Bad Wolf 83. Also, Big Bad Wolf 83 chat on YouTube.
Appreciate you coming out today, brother.
Thank you, brother.
And
Thank
thanks
you for
for
having
your
me.
work, man.
Yes, sir.
Really
No
noble
problem.
cause.
Appreciate you guys having me.